external validation this, external validation that. Girl, shut up. Do you even know the exact meaning of external validation? No. But we keep, using such words that we don't even know the vocabulary meaning of, because we don't realize how deep they are. We don't realize how much that can hurt another person if we start saying things like, you know what, you constantly need validation from other people because you don't trust yourself. Okay, fair enough. I mean, exactly why they need external validation is because they don't trust themselves, and that is completely true. I agree with you. But what's the point of telling that on their face when they're simply not going to listen to you? Are they going to change? Are they going to stop needing that validation? No. However, if you think that you constantly need validation from other people, or you constantly seek out external validation on a daily basis, or you just feel like you should do that, please, before you make any such stupid decision in your life, kindly watch this video till the end. Also, make sure that you check out the description box for all of my links, which are linked down in my link tree, and click on the link and you'll find all my social media platforms, my book, which is My Most Beautiful Nightmare, available on Amazon and Flipkart, and my recently released music album called Duba. The songs are amazing, go check it out. Everything is linked down below. Also, to not miss out any regular updates about this podcast, that is Relationship to Self, kindly follow the podcast account on Instagram, because I keep updating a lot of things there, and also share daily motivation. So what I usually do in my videos is that I categorize different parts or different sections of the video or the episode. If you're listening to this on Spotify, hi. So I sectionize the videos, right? However, in this one, I'm just going to cover each and every point I can for this episode, which comes under external validation, and I am not going to categorize or number the sections of the video, because it's a general topic and most of us know about it. However, we keep on seeking it out even after knowing that it is not exactly good for us. So I'm just going to cover the basic stuff in points, and I'm not numbering anything. Now let's start with learning what external validation, what do these two words actually mean and how impactful they can be in one's life. Now, external validation basically means trying to seek out other people's judgments, views, opinions, perceptions, you name it. Basically anything that is external and that is not in your control. You constantly seek out other people's judgments about your appearance, or about how you look that day, or how you behave that day, or what your Instagram post should look like, or how aesthetic your account should look like. Okay, seeking out opinions from people you trust and you genuinely think can help you out in a particular situation of your life, perfect, you should do that. I mean, that's what friends are for, to help you when you are confused, or to help you in the rough phase of your life, right? We all know that, it's basic knowledge. However, when you constantly seek out external validation from other people, you feel lost. You feel empty, because that's what you're doing to yourself. You are telling yourself that, you know what, I don't trust my own opinion in this situation. I should go ask my best friend, or I should go ask my friend or my family member. You are literally living your own life. Nobody else is living your life. You are the main character of your life. And if you keep seeking out validation from other people who barely even know what is going on in your life, what benefit are you getting? You are literally telling all of your drama to people who might not even care about it, or who might gossip about it. Why? Now, we don't only seek external validation for just our situations or the events that are happening in our life, but also about how we're looking, or how our Instagram post was. Why didn't you comment? Why didn't you like? Okay, all of these things are really common nowadays, especially because we use social media so much, and that's completely fine. It's normal. Everybody's going through the same phase, I feel. And I mean, most of us know what to do, but still choose not to, and it's fine. I mean, you do take time to change, and you do need those experiences to learn the lessons from it. However, I think I really want to change your opinion from this video, so keep on watching / listening. Now, the first thing that I wanted to give an example about is, for example, you are going out on a brunch date with your best friend and you are planning to wear a particular outfit which you really, really love, okay? However, your best friend, being a little judgmental about it, she says that I don't like this outfit, you're looking like a grandmother. I mean, I've experienced it, and wow. There are two types of validations. One is internal and one is external. We already know and we've already experienced external validation so much to the point where we've completely forgotten about the internal part. We've forgotten about how do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel that we are looking? Or what is our opinion on a particular situation? We are so focused on everybody else and everything going on around us that we forget the internal side of ourselves, and that is a really bad thing because external validation is really addictive, and once you start seeking out every time you have a rough phase going on, you are actually telling yourself that I don't trust my opinion, I cannot rely on myself, I cannot rely on the decisions I make, I cannot rely on my own advices, I constantly need other people to be there for me. And that is completely not true, because not everybody is going to be there for you like 24/7 and 365 days of your life, and they're not going to be there till your last breath. I mean, just accept it. People come and go, and that's a part and parcel of life, and that is supposed to happen, because then if it doesn't happen, how will you ever learn from the situations? How will you ever learn how to let go? How will you ever learn how to just be fine alone as well? Right? And it's a part and parcel of life, and it is supposed to happen in order to learn things from the situations that we go through and the experiences that we experience. Now, if you are going through a really bad phase of your life and you feel like you cannot handle it anymore, you cannot keep stuff bottled up inside you, and you want to share it with somebody, which is really nice, it's a brave thing to do, I'm proud of you, you should do that, but only with the people you trust. You share it with your friend and you tell her or him that, you know what, this is how I feel about the situation, what is your opinion on it? Now, this is not seeking external validation in a bad way. This is just taking an opinion of your close one, and that's completely fine. We are supposed to help each other when we go through such phases of our life. And if we do trust the person, and if we are confident that their opinions are most of the times very accurate, I won't say correct all the time because that's impossible. We all have, different mindsets and stuff. But most of the times, if you find their opinions accurate, and if you actually trust the person so much and you know the person for a long time, then you can share your problem, you can ask their opinion, and that is completely normal and sometimes needed, because you can't do everything by your own self and just be completely fine 24/7. We all have our bad days, and we do need people, we do need our close ones to be there for us and help us out and drag us out of the situation. However, if every single time a bad situation happens and you go to that one person and you go like, hey, what's your opinion on this? I mean, I'm not really feeling confident about my own opinions. I wanted to ask your opinion or your view or your perception on this situation. That is you throwing out to the universe that, look, I cannot live without anybody else giving their opinions in my life, and I want to tell everybody what is going on so that I get everybody's opinion on my drama, and everybody gets the right to know about it, to gossip about it, to confuse me about it, and then leave me stranded. When you constantly rely on somebody's advice about your own life, when they walk out of your life, trust me, you will feel like, okay, now what? Who should I go to? Who should I vent? Who should I ask opinions from? Because you get so dependent on that one person, and you get so dependent on the opinions or judgments they share with you, that when they're gone, or when they're not replying to you or your text, or they're not picking your call, you will feel like, what should I do now? And you'll panic because you get dependent on the person, right? And if you are not confident in your own advices, you feel like, I need to wait for the person's reply or their reaction on the situation. Otherwise, I won't escalate the situation further, or I won't take my own decision about whatever is going on. No, you cannot do that, because at the end of the day, as I keep saying, you got you 24/7, 365 days, and even if somebody comes and goes from your life, at least you have yourself. You're still alive, you're still breathing. And if somebody else goes from your life, why does it affect you so much? You know why? Because you constantly seek out validation from that person. I'm not saying that you don't care about the person at all, or you guys are not close or something, but validation also has a factor in this, because we constantly feel like, oh, that's my best friend, so I should ask her about everything going on in my life, and I should, constantly keep her updated. She is not a mobile phone that constantly needs to be updated every single day. And your life is supposed to be private, at least to some point. It should not always be like everybody knows what's going on. You know why? Because the more opinions you seek from more people, the more confused you are left in the end, and then you don't know what to do. In the start, you at least knew how you felt about the situation, right? But then you ask 1,000 more people. You go like, hey, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? What's your opinion? And then they throw all of their opinions at you, and obviously they will, because you asked for it. And then what happens is, how you felt before versus how you felt after their opinions completely changes. It's a huge drastic change, because after listening to everybody else's opinions, you start feeling like your own opinion was trash, which is not true. You know why? Because when we feel a particular way about a particular situation, that is our first take on the situation. However, other people come from different backgrounds, they have different mindsets, different standards, different morals, and different kinds of life. Not everybody leads the same life, not everybody has the same shit going on, and not everybody will understand your situation. Some may take it in a good way, some may take it in a bad way. Some may think that you're constantly seeking out people's opinions and you don't have trust in yourself, which you are doing, but okay. You feel bad when they say that about you. Why? Literally, just stop seeking out opinions of other people and start putting yours above theirs. Also, not everybody is supposed to throw their opinions at you, and you don't have to ask everybody for it. Asking your family members or your close ones is completely fine, but not all of the time though, because as I said, we completely rely on their opinion after some point of time, and you know what? We don't even realize it. We just keep on updating them about our situations, and then we keep on waiting for their reply. We be like, wait, I have to wait for the reply. I can't react to that right now. Just give me some time. Just let the person reply. No, that's not how your life is supposed to be going on, and you have to trust your opinion above anybody else's, no matter how close you guys are, because you know how you're feeling about the situation. You know what you're going through. You know what everything how everything affects you, and you know your emotions more than anybody does. Now, external validation also comes in one more factor, which is people invalidating your emotions, which in turn changes how you feel about things. So basically, when you seek out external validation about your emotions, and if somebody tells you that you're behaving very sensitive, or you're overreacting, or you're too dramatic, and you get hurt easily, basically you should chill out and everything, you start doubting your emotions. You start doubting, am I actually overreacting? Is this situation actually this kind to like chill about it and not take it too seriously? Say, you know what happened more than anybody. No matter how many details you give it to them, they don't know how you felt in that moment. They don't know how you felt after that or before that. All they know about is what you are telling them. So why would you rely on their opinion and their perception? Because everybody's perceptions on different situations are different, and then the more people you ask, the more confused you feel about your own emotions and your reaction towards life and towards situations that occur in your life. If you feel like you are actually overreacting, then stop reacting so much. But if you don't feel like you're overreacting, and if somebody else tells you you're overreacting, that just means that they are not capable enough to understand what you're going through, and that is fine. But that is also a sign that you should stop asking the person for their opinion, because they simply don't understand what you're feeling and how you're feeling in that particular situation. They don't understand how much it affects you, and that's fine. Everybody's different, but just stop seeking out their opinion. Now let's talk about a few drawbacks of seeking out external validation and other people's opinions on our daily routine and life and everything. Firstly, when we start listening to others' opinions so much to the point where we cannot take our own decisions, we will regret it later. Because what happens is we start relying on other people's opinions, and for example, they share some advice with you and you follow it. However, the thing didn't go as planned, or something failed, or the situation worsened, or anything could happen, right? You will start regretting because you chose their opinion over yours, and you trusted them so much to the point where you couldn't even realize whether what you're doing is actually what you want to do, or either you're just doing it because somebody else told you to do it. Instead of regretting such things later, instead of thinking that, oh my god, why did I listen to the other person, la la la, and blaming somebody else for the decisions you make for yourself, it's just completely stupid. It ruins the friendship, it ruins the trust you share amongst each other, and it also ruins the situation, right? It also ruins the trust you have in yourself, and obviously then you start blaming the other person, and the other person goes like, but I just shared my opinion. Obviously, and it's not their fault because you chose their opinion over your own, and that was a choice made by you and not them. So taking other people's opinions on situations when times get really rough and you can't think about anything, that's completely fine, but don't get it to the point where you cannot take your own decisions, because then if a situation goes wrong, or it goes a little not as planned or not as you expected it to be, you start blaming the other person, and also you lose more and more confidence within yourself as well, because you start thinking whether the people around you are actually right or not, which again leads to a lot of overthinking and falling into that trap of not being able to focus, and then we're distracted and everything. So rather than regretting, rather than blaming the other person for their own opinion about our own life, we should simply just take their opinion, keep it to ourselves, and then think deeply about it, whether it actually makes sense to you, whether it actually applies to you or your mindset or your situation. Because at the end of the day, they don't know how exactly you felt in that moment, right? Like when poets write poetry as well, the way they describe those words, the way they describe emotions is not something that a non-reader will understand. Like if you go and if you show it to a person who hates reading, they will not understand the amount of emotions put into that one piece of paper, right? Same way, the other person who's just listening to your rants and your problems and your drama and your situations, they will not exactly understand what you were feeling, and that's when you start taking hasty decisions, and then you will regret later that why did I listen to that person, or I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. Instead of blaming somebody else, take your own decision. Second is that at the end of the day, no matter how many opinions you take, no matter how much validation you want from other people in your life, your decision should be yours about your situation and your phase of the life. Now, basically, what I mean by this is that even if you take your best friend's opinion, your mom's opinion, your dad's opinion, anybody's opinion, at the end of the day, it should be you selecting whose opinion you want to listen to the most. And that answer should obviously be yourself. Obviously, like that's what I've been talking about on this episode, right? That at the end of the day, the decision should be yours, regardless of how many opinions or how many variations you hear and people throw at you. Third is that nowadays we all have various different problems going on, right? Nobody is completely living the best, perfect life. There's no such thing as a perfect life, because everybody's hustling. People are still trying to build their career and trying to have the best possible life they can within the situations that happen around us. However, we don't understand that, because when a particular situation happens to us, we start overreacting sometimes, and we think that why is that friend not there for me, or why is she not there for me, why is she not picking my call? Listen, people have their own problems and their own shit going on to even be bothered about what is happening to anybody else in their life, or what is happening to their friend or close friend or anybody. You know why? It's not because they don't care about you. Well, it could be that, but that's another topic to talk about. For this episode, let's just keep it to that they do care about you. However, they don't have the time or energy to actually listen or try to understand you, because they have their own problems going on, and that's completely fine. I mean, the same way you have problems going on, the same way somebody else can, right? And you cannot expect everybody to be there for you 24/7, because that's just no. That's a big no. And you should be there for yourself more than anybody else, and I think that's the bravest thing to do. And if somebody is not there for you in a particular situation, or they're not replying to you or something, it's fine. You don't have to blame them. They have their own drama going on. And it's just, we make it such a big deal that we're not capable of getting opinions. We're not capable of talking to somebody. We're not capable of communicating this and that. And then again, the overthinking starts, and then we think we're not worthy and all of that. No. Instead of all of that, stop waiting for that reply. Take your own decision, trust your own self, and stop expecting so much from other people, because they have their own situations, and that is completely fine. We all have different stuff going on, and if they're so bottled up in their own selves, how will their opinion even benefit you? And lastly, when some people who were always there, or most of the times were there for us in a lot of phases of our life, if they suddenly don't react to the situation the way we want them to, we feel disappointed, and then we start feeling empty, because we feel like, wait, but her opinion was always working for me, then why did she change her opinion now? Exactly. You don't have to expect everything will go right and everybody's opinions will always be right, because not everybody knows what exactly is going on. And then you raise your expectations, you raise your hopes, and you start putting too much trust and confidence into somebody else above your own self, which is the biggest mistake, and that is the biggest path to external validation, which we all need to stop. Because when the person gives us the wrong advice, we may regret, or we may feel disappointed. We may even start becoming distant from the person just because of that one silly opinion of them, which is not even their job to do all the time. Sometimes it's fine. As I said, you can rely on your close ones and people you trust, but not every time and not for every single situation, because you need to be mature enough to handle your own life, and they should be mature enough to not keep on giving wrong opinions to you and just misguide you from your own life. Instead of making yourself feel more and more empty by gathering everybody's opinions and putting it into your brain, and just keeping it and rotting it there, and then you just get confused about your reactions towards situations that happen around you, simply just start understanding one thing, that you have you permanently till the last breath, literally till the last breath. That's a guarantee that nobody can give you but yourself, and that's the best thing. Imagine people who are not right for you leave your life. That is so beautiful. They just leave your life. They don't have to stay and make you regret about your own self and your reactions towards situations. If somebody's opinion makes you feel invalidated, stop telling them about your life. Stop telling them what is going on. Stop asking about their perception on anything, because we all are different. We all come from different families, different mindsets. We hold different values, and what you may feel in a particular situation maybe it's not how they must have felt if they were in your shoes, and that is okay. You guys are different. So instead of making yourself feel like, you know what, I don't trust my opinion, or instead of putting out that energy to your own friend group that you don't trust your own opinion, because then they start feeling like, she's not going to listen to herself, we can tell her anything, she'll get misguided, we can just drag her to the wrong path. Please be mature enough to handle your own things, and stop relying on other people over your own opinion, and start taking decisions for yourself. Now let's talk about a few solutions that I can suggest to you when you start feeling like you're again seeking external validation from people. The first thing you can do is remind yourself about all the good decisions you've made by yourself in the past. Now this could be in any form. This could be a decision you made about going for a 20-minute walk every day and you continue to do it, and that obviously benefits your physical as well as your mental health. So you can remind yourself like, hey, look, I took that decision in the past by myself. I didn't need anybody else's opinion on it, and I was completely fine. It benefited me, it benefited my physical and mental health, and I'm completely good to go. I don't need anybody else's take on it. And that is how you remind yourself to not constantly seek out others' opinions. Secondly, just because somebody else invalidates your emotions or your experiences or your situations or the phases you're going through does not mean that you strand yourself and you don't validate yourself, because you should have the most trust in yourself, the confidence in yourself. And if you tell yourself that I don't trust myself, nobody is going to trust you. Nobody is going to be the best friend, or nobody is going to be real to you, because they can see that you don't trust yourself and you don't have that much confidence in yourself to take your own decisions. So even if somebody else tells you that you're overreacting or you're too dramatic or you're too sensitive, don't listen to them. Listen to what your heart and mind says. Listen to how you feel from the internal part, not from the external part. And stop trying to put their opinion above yours. I think I said this for like 15 times in this episode, but okay, keep listening, because that's the main point of the whole episode, that you have to put your opinion above anybody else's, because that's how we stop seeking external validation. Even if somebody else tells you that you should not react a particular way in a particular situation, give yourself some time, let that reaction phase pass away, and then sit down and think that what or how you reacted was actually right or not. And if it was not right, then you know that the person was right, and that's fine. You can appreciate, you can tell them that thanks for your opinion, it actually was right and I realized it. But let yourself experience it. Trust me, if you don't experience things and if you constantly start relying on people's judgments about situations, you will never learn from the situations. You need to have those experiences. You need to have those partial phases of regret. Please don't regret for your whole life about that one thing you said to that one person ages ago. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that you need to let yourself experience different emotions in different phases of your life, instead of constantly running away from the situations because somebody else is pulling you out of it. And even if somebody else doesn't validate you, validate yourself. Literally, go in the mirror and say, look, you know what? I'm feeling this way about this situation, and that's completely fine, even if somebody else doesn't feel the same way as me, because everybody's different and that's okay. The next is shift your perspective. Now, as soon as something happens, we tend to run to people. We tend to text them paragraphs about the situation and you know what, this happened, that happened, and we update them about all the drama that is going on. But do we even realize in that moment what we're doing or how we are feeling about the situation? No. Because as I said, we always listen to other people above our own voice, our own inner voice. We ignore our own intuition, and we constantly want to trust other people's opinions above our own selves, and that is a choice we make. And basically what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to shift your mindset. Whenever a bad situation happens or you feel like you cannot handle it, switch off your phone. Literally, I think that's the best I can tell you guys right now, because we all are so addicted to, texting and checking our phone again and again, that we forget how we are actually feeling internally. What impact does the situation have in our life and on our heart and on our mind? And we just get so busy about updating 2-3 people in our life about the situations that happen, that we forget completely about the internal part. We forget that we are important in our own life, and we are literally the main character of our own life. And not everybody should be so important that you start ignoring your emotions about a situation and you start prioritizing to text them more than how you feel. So instead of thinking that, oh my god, wait, this happened, I have to update this person, and you start texting them, instead of that, change your perspective and think, you know what, this has happened, I need some time. Take your mind off your phone. Nobody needs to know immediately about whatever is happening in your life. Tell them later or never tell them. Literally. But don't tell them in the moment, because when you do that, you are ignoring the situation in hand, and that makes the situation worse, more complicated, and then you feel like you're bottling shit up. The next is go out more in nature when you feel like you cannot handle things on your own, because trust me, taking even a 10-minute walk amongst the trees is so peaceful, and it is so much better than listening to what other people want you to or expect you to do in a particular situation, because expectations are really a stupid thing nowadays, because nobody is going to fulfill each and every single expectation. Everybody is going to make a decision of their own, which is completely fine. So instead of waiting for those replies, or instead of updating, or instead of calling somebody and venting and just making a fool out of yourself, go out in the nature. It's more helpful and more beneficial, and it will actually help you to process your thoughts and feelings instead of listening to other people's trash opinions about your life. The next is practice self affirmations more. This can be in the form of the first point which I said, that remind yourself that all the good decisions you've made in the past, and trust yourself about the decisions you're going to make further. Or it could be in the form of making a Spotify playlist in which you have all those cool songs, and basically the songs that make you feel good, and the songs that remind you that you are good enough alone also, and you don't need everybody in your life and everything. I actually have a playlist on affirmations. You can check it out. It's linked down in the description box below. If you don't want to make a playlist, you can also have a wallpaper on your phone, and basically for that wallpaper, just go search up on Pinterest like affirmative wallpapers or something, and you will get a bunch of options. Choose your favorite one and set it as your wallpaper, so that whenever you're opening your phone, you always have that one constant reminder in front of you that I am worthy, or I'm capable, or I can make my own decisions, or any of that sort of quote. Or you can also set reminders on your phone, like we set for our task list. There could be reminders that have affirmative quotes, that have motivating quotes, and that reassure you. So there's basically this app called I Am, and I have this on my phone since like a year now, and every single day it gives me a reminder and it shares a quote with me. So for example, the quote is I am worthy, and then it has a little bit of description about it, like I'm worthy of this, and basically reminding you that you are capable of things in your life. So you can download such apps also, as I said, make a playlist, or set reminders on your phone. I mean, use the phone in your favor and not the opposite way around. Next thing is being patient with yourself. You are living your life for the first time, and so is everybody else. Nobody is perfect in giving opinions. Nobody knows everything about life. Nobody has a guidebook to life. We all are living it for the first time. So learn to be patient with yourself. Learn to understand your mistakes and let go of your mistakes, and make better decisions in the future instead of regretting and putting yourself in the trap of guilt and overthinking, and like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do this? It happened. The situation has happened. You cannot go back in time and change it, right? So instead of regretting and putting yourself in this deep overthinking trap, try to change your perspective and try to be patient with yourself, because we all are learning from things, we all are making mistakes, and that's completely okay. The next is celebrate your own worth, even if it is the smallest things. Even if you just decided to do a full 1 hour workout and you did it, celebrate it. Now I'm not saying that go out for a full calorie treat or something which just reverses the amount of impact the workout could have on your body, but celebrate your worth in the sense, it could be in the form of taking yourself for a solo date, it could be in the form of giving yourself a rest day, it could be in any form, or you can do the things you love. As simple as that. Just know that even if somebody else doesn't clap for you, you should clap for yourself the loudest. And lastly, I would like to say that you know yourself better than anybody else. So instead of not trusting your own opinion and not listening to your inner voice, please start doing that more instead of updating other people about what is going on, because I don't think they are really bothered about it. And even if they are, their opinions are not always going to be right and always going to drag you out of situations. The more you escape from situations, the worse they get in the future. So please try to be patient, try to learn from the situations. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you guys same time in the next episode, that is episode 4. Till then, if you guys do want an episode on how to start taking your own decisions and trust more on yourself instead of anybody else's opinions or advices, do let me know in the comment section below. I always check your comments and I love them. Thank you so much for all the support. And yeah, see you guys. Till then, take care. I love you and bye.